Hey Raphael, we just wanted to say happy birthday, and we wouldn't have missed this for anything, and we love you. God bless you.
Bless me, friend.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Happy birthday, Raff, you
Why are
old
we
man. I don't know. I heard there was a
Raff
party.
who? Yes. Hey, if Raff's having a party, I'm going to be
We
at
are
Raff's
here
party.
every
Absolutely.
year until we're 90 years old.
Or they take our motorcycles away, whichever comes first.
Either way.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Raff.
Bye.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Raffi. You know we love you. Thank you so much for just all of your encouragement and for always opening your home and your hearts to us, and for letting us spend time with your lovely Teresa. And we just really are so blessed to have you in our lives, and we look forward to many, many wonderful years ahead. So happy birthday, friends.
What?
Say,
Birthday wishes video.
yeah, birthday wishes. Sing him happy birthday.
Alright. I'm trying. I'm not really good at it. Alright. Raff, you're my brother, and I love you, love you, love you, love you. And you are the most awesome person, and I couldn't have, like I said earlier, you know, when I prayed you up for Teresa, you totally exceeded my expectations. I love you, and I would do anything for you.
Happy birthday, cuz. Many, many more. And thank you very much for inviting me to the party. And have a great Christmas and birthday. Your cuz, Jackie.
Ralph, we couldn't have missed this for anything. Even though we've got 5 kids at the house, my daughter's belly aching about having to watch my dad. But here we are.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Rafe, I know it's tough to get this old, dude, but you know, from here to heaven, you're just closer. That's the cool part about the whole thing. And I'm right behind you, man. Happy birthday, and God bless you, my friend.
Awesome.
Happy birthday, Rafe. I'll never forget the fun times we have at Corpus every time we would do the marriage and intimacy retreats, and looking forward to more. God bless. Happy birthday.
Go ahead.
Hello, Raphael. Happy birthday. We love you. Many blessings.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Raffaele, how you doing? Happy birthday. I was just sitting here thinking, man, how long did I know this guy? And it seems like so long, and we must have met him in diapers. But anyway, you're ahead of me, buddy, and just let me know how it goes, so I can be prepared. Happy birthday.
Pretty good.
I really love you, Uncle. And you're the funniest man I've ever met.
What does he call you? What does he call you?
He calls me Rai Rai.
And what else?
Rioli.
Rioli.
Say happy birthday, Uncle Ralph.
Happy birthday, Uncle.
Okay. Let's sing happy birthday. Okay. But you don't start it because you're not that great. No, just play.
Whatever.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Teresa.
Happy birthday.
Wait, this is the wrong one.
Wrong party?
Wrong party.
That one next
You're down
door?
the hall.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sorry. Happy birthday, Raff.
Happy birthday, Raff.
Hello, Raff. I hope you appreciate the selfie skills that I'm displaying. But we just want to say we love you, and we're just thrilled every year we get to spend with you. And I'm so thrilled this year that I got to trick you into thinking I was at work, but I'm really here waiting on you. So whenever you'd like to show up, that'd be great, so we can eat and just enjoy your presence.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Go ahead.
Hi, Daddy. Happy birthday to you. I'm glad to be here with everybody celebrating your birthday. I just want you to know that I love you very, very much. And I'm glad for all of the wonderful things that you've taught me and for all the awesome stuff that you've done with me and for me. And there's no better daddy in the whole entire world. Love you always, your baby girl. Mwah!
Okay.
Hi. Raphael, we love you. Hope it's a great birthday for you.
And James?
Raphael, it was your birthday and many more to come.
Oh.
And just have a wonderful Christmas.
All right.
What, you send him to the potty or what? Good. Would you bring the
Is it really him? I can't tell.
It looks like it.
Oh, this one here!
Some of the red time.
You know what? I don't like none of y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, it would have been a whole lot better.
In that case, you're mine.
I had no idea. And Chief, I just saw you. You could have told me something.
No. Why would I?
How is it nobody
Ralph, Ralph, I'm going to tell you something, and what's she going to do?
Oh, yeah.
She outranked Beth.
Very happy birthday.
Thank you.
Her birthday was on the 16th.
You're looking awfully gray and bald there. I can say that.
Thank you. I had a good teacher. Jackie and Al, you know I got something for you. Well, I'll be. You know what? If a man was ever going to see how rich he really was, all he has to do is walk into a room like this and see everybody that just took the time, especially Christmas time, took the time to come out here just to tell me happy birthday.
It ain't done. It ain't done.
It ain't done.
You just started.
Yeah.
Okay?
This would be the tip.
Okay. But I just, I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing all the people that really, really mean something to me every day of the week. And Mal and Deb over there, Slick in here. And it's just overwhelming. It really is overwhelming. Pastor, you could have told me something. I'm sitting out there eating a piece of bread. Your wife is not feeling good. I'm just choked up. What's going on? And then you guys. Hey, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all the love that He's given me all these years. And it's shown right here in this room. Thank you all, each and every last one of you. You don't know how much this means to me.
Raphael, you only give what you give.
That's right.
You give it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Doug. Oh, Lord. My knees are shaking. Stand.
Sit down before you fall. Got paid for their farm. So it's a pretty important job. And like I said, I was his first sergeant. And I was told, Ralph, this was supposed to be a roast, okay? The only thing I can say is I had a policy in our squadron that if you show up late, you're the person that's selected to watch other people pee in a cup. Do your analysis, Mom.
Operation Gold.
That's right. Ralph, how many times did you do that?
Once.
Once. He only showed up late one time. And for that I was thankful. I did have people that were showing up late regularly, And I don't know if they did it for ulterior motives. I don't know. Somewhere about 2008 or so, he transferred out of AES and he went to the operations group, who are in control of all of the flyers. And he did the same thing there that he did for us. But his hobbies, martial arts, and he's been a band member since high school. In high school, Ralph's I just want to prove a point. Okay. Let's see. He's a little bit bigger than you. Do you play football? No, sir. He tried. In high school, he was too little. They told him he couldn't play football. So he, rather than play football, he went to marching band. Okay. But Ralph's not, yeah. Ralph's not the only person in his family that was in the military. His dad, bless his soul, was a former Tuskegee Airman. Wow. His mom was a nurse and this I didn't understand so much. Mom was no, not a nurse. She was in the WAC. She was a music teacher, a nurse, and she liked martial arts, which plays off of what Ralph likes. Art. No, that's his oldest brother, Ricardo, in November 3rd, 1966, was killed in South Vietnam from hostile ground casualty gunfire, and he's on panel 12E, line 13 of the Vietnam War Memorial. That gives Ralph and I another connection, because my cousin is on panel 19W, line 109. Also in the Army. My cousin was Special Forces. He died in 1969, and he was the reason I joined the Air Force. Joined the military, because I told my dad I wanted to be a Marine. My dad was a Marine. So I'm going to be a Marine. And my dad told me, you try to join the Marines, and I will kick your figure it out. Wow. So I went to the recruiter. Of course, at 18, we all know more than our parents do. And I went to the Marine recruiter. They were out to lunch. Him and the Navy were at lunch. And when I'm standing out in front of their door, a guy comes out and he says, "What are you waiting for?" I said, "I want to join the Marines." "Well, what do you know about the Air Force?" I said, "Nothing." "Well, come on in, let's talk." Enough said. I stayed in 33 years. His brother Jacques is also retired Army, and he also received a Purple Heart. By the way, Ricardo received a Purple Heart posthumously. And his baby brother, Joseph, he served 4 years, and he also received the Purple Heart. Tamara?
Yes.
Still in the Army?
No.
No, you served 4 years in the Army.
Yes, I did.
That's right. And Cedric is currently in the Army. That's your bigger brother, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I would Yeah. And where is he?
He's in Belgium.
He's in Belgium. And my son's in Italy. And are they on vacation now? Is your son on vacation?
No.
Mine is. My son Christian's been in the Army for a little over 3 years, almost 4 years. And the Army does stuff differently than the Air Force. I know there are a lot of Air Force people here. But in the Air Force, if you want to go on leave, you fill out a form, you give it to your first sergeant, your commander, your boss, whoever, and they approve it, and you can go on leave. In the Army, they have a mass exodus in December from the 18th till the 2nd of January. What in the world's going on?
And they have spring break.
Yeah, and they get a spring break in April? March. In March. I don't get it. Somebody's got to be watching the store. Anyway. Ralph's been a musician his whole life. And that comes directly from his mom. His mom loved music. And almost everybody in their family is a musician. What do you play?
The radio. I'm working on playing the keyboard.
What about you?
I am playing keyboard.
I sing a little.
Say it again?
I sing a little.
You sing? And I mean, it's a common thread through the whole family. Everybody's got something to do with music. After I left AES, the Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron, and Ralph left AES and retired finally, we joined a motorcycle riding club called the Sore Butts Chapter, SBC. We can't call it a club because in Texas and California and some of the other states, if you're in a club, it has to be sanctioned by one of the big clubs, Hell's Angels or whoever, and we weren't sanctioned by anybody except ourselves. And we had a lot of good times. We rode halfway across Texas.
The most
By
organized,
accident a couple of times.
the most organized unofficial club you'll ever run into.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the reason we called it the Sore Butt Chapter is because we got on the bikes at 7 in the morning and we rode until 5, 6, 7 at night. And by 7 at night, you're going to have a sore butt. And now Ralph's out at Randolph and he's doing kind of the same job he was doing when he was at Lackland / Kelly. But we did have a lot of good times, and I'm proud to stand here in front of this gang and say that Ralph is probably one of my best friends. Ralph's done more for me by accident than a lot of people have done on purpose. And those that know him well know that's the way Ralph is. So Ralph, happy birthday, my friend. And I'm sorry nobody slipped and told you this was a party, but it worked out well. Teresa, you did a good job. Thank you.
I have been known to illustrate. I was blessed to meet, I call Rafe, Raff back in married Sunday school. And I used to pinch hit to teach that Sunday school class. And I met both Raff and Teresa. And then we got to talk. You know how we're military guys, right? We kind of rub shoulders together and, you know, where you been? I was at 30,000 feet. Yeah, I was at ground level. We talked about those things. And then I found out that, because I was so impressed with Teresa. I was so impressed when I met her. And then I realized, man, that man married up. And then I found out that he did because she outranked you. She did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, all right, no offense for Sergeant, but where was the fraternization thing? You know, I was...
There were different squadrons at the same time.
Oh, sneaky.
Oh,
That's good.
you know, there's one... I'm sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
But there's one story that I left out. I was told by a little bird that you were in the 26th at one time.
Yep.
And who else was it? Anybody else here from the reserve other than Mike and you guys over there? Were you in the 26th? No, sir. Were you in the 26th? No, she wasn't either. Who else was in the 26th? Oh!
Gone when I went.
But they were in the same squadron at different times.
We'll bring charges later.
You need to look in the mirror on that one.
Yeah, I can't say and I married and enlisted. But I was Army, she was Air Force. So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, Raff and I, we got to know each other through Mary Sunday School. And really the best time I learned about who he was, we did a marriage retreat down at the coast. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And of course, you know, the retreats aren't just for Bible studies. We do things. And we decided to go fishing. We decided to go fishing. Now, Teresa, she's the kind of woman, natural fisherman. She can catch fish with cigarette butts. For bait. Raff was out. First of all, he had to borrow one of my rods. He didn't have a rod, as I recall. And I was thinking, why is this man not? It's the coast. I mean, you can catch fish, you know, with anything. We got shrimp, fresh bait, good to go. And I was watching him thread that shrimp, and I realized he had threaded it upside down and backwards. Now, if you know if you're a fisherman, you know what that means is that the tail end of the shrimp is up, so when the fish bites, it don't like to take it. So I figured, should I tell him? I said, no, we're just having too much fun anyhow. And we got to know each other that weekend, fish or not, and it was a good thing. We've been friends ever since. You know, we also belong to a Bible study group, me and John, called the Men's Power Group at Cornerstone. And we used to meet at the old Evangelistic Center. And I do remember Rafe one time pulling up. And I didn't know it was Rafe, because the door opened, it was late, we'd already started, and this motorcycle drag racer walked in, full leathers, gloves, helmet, and he walked in that way with the helmet. I'm thinking, okay, well, I have a license to carry. If you don't take that helmet, I'm going to shoot him for this. And he took out that helmet, and it was great. I'm like, oh man, we just saved his life. Now, what's interesting, I don't know if those were new leathers or not, but I remember you sat through that whole Bible study in those leathers with that jacket over. I knew he had to be sweating. I'm like, that ain't the Holy Spirit, that's just hot. That's all it was. Now, we went outside to see his new bike. And I walk up to the, but now I've ridden almost all my life. I don't ride anymore, but I used to ride. And I walk up to Raf's bike, and I'm looking at the undercarriage, and there's a bell hanging off that motorcycle. Remember that? Now here I am, a man of God, a pastor, with a man of God riding that motorcycle. Do you guys know what that bell is called?
Yep.
Right? It's called a gremlin bell. Or where I come from, it's a demon bell. And I'm like, Lord, just pray, man. You don't need no bell. You don't need no bell. He loved that bell. He showed me that bell. He tinkled that bell, tried to scare demons away. I said, dude, you need to wear like earrings if you can wear these things. And he loved that bell. But I didn't want to tell anybody that, you know, he's scared of demons. He's got a little bell in his bicycle. But it was a great deal. I do remember you getting stuck, though, in your driveway, that new bike of yours, coming up that curb. Remember, in second, not enough gas at an angle. He could not go up, and he could not go back. And he was at an angle with the brake. Remember that? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And he bragged about how he got stuck up there. Like, brother, you ain't been riding long enough. We got to get you to learn a little better. Go ahead. Go explain yourself.
Like a Alciphar clown.
He came up that road, saw that he didn't have enough gas to get in. He didn't give it gas. He hit the brake at this angle. No place else to go but the rest of the way. So God bless him. But it's all right. Every guy's got to put a little road on his bike. I was proud of you that day because he got back up. And I guess what I really want to say, besides all the things I can say about you, you got to know something. This is a man of God.
Amen.
I'm not saying that just because I'm a preacher. I'm saying it because I knew you before I was a preacher. And we spent a lot of times praying about each other and our families. Praying for your kids when they were downrange. Praying for mine when mine went downrange. When he was in Afghanistan, when he was in Iraq. That was tough times. We got together as men of God and we lifted each other up and we studied the Word together. And you know, there's some guys that, God bless us, we say we are. We want to say that we're men of God, that we've got something about us that sets us apart because of Christ our Savior. But there are very few men that live it every day. There's very few men whose words and his actions match exactly what his heart has. And that's salvation and the love of God within him. And I see it in your face. I see it in everything you do. I see it when you teach. I see it when you love your family. And I see it best when you're just my friend.
Amen.
God bless you.
Wait a minute, I knew him as a staff or tech?
No, probably a senior airman.
I know he's old, I forget.
Yeah,
I gotta say, Chief Schroeder is probably one of the best chiefs I've ever met in my whole life. He's taught me a lot about everything. He taught me a lot about management and leadership and everything. So I gotta say, Chief, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
You're not that
You only wish. So anyway, I met Ralph in 433rd, because I was from 433rd. He did 38, I did about 38 years in it, because I started out as enlisted and I went to the dark side. I got commissioned as a senior master sergeant. So for me, it was probably one of the hardest decisions to make, to jump over to that dark side. But I did. So I'm glad I did. I met Ralph probably about in '98. I started playing in the blues band. I knew Ralph played drums and he knew I played keyboards. And so he was forming a blues band, so he asked me to come sit in one night, and I did, and I loved the way he played, I loved the way the whole set sound. I said, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, so I think we played for about 4 years, something like that. Then that band broke up, we got in another band. And I said, hey, I know a drummer. So Raffaele. And now that band broke up. So back in the 80s, I played with a band called Direct Drive. And some of the members are here, Stanley and Rufus. We were pretty big in here in San Antonio. We were playing every weekend. And so, because I was back in probably about 28, 29, and I would play on Friday nights, get up Saturday morning, go to UTA, stand tall, go back, play Saturday night. We can get home about 4 o'clock in the morning, come back Sunday morning, be at UTA. So, standing tall. So I did that for about 8 years. Wow. I don't know how we did it. We did it because we love music. So we went our separate ways. And Stanley retired. Rufus retired. I retired. So we said, hey, let's get back together. So at first, Rufus' son was playing drums. Well, he's a rapper, so he kind of blew up. So I said, hey, I know Raffaele. And he's sitting with us, and we've been working out ever since. Now, I know this is supposed to be a roast, so I've got one story to tell you about Raffaele. How many of you know that Raffaele plays golf here? So, he's a guitar player, we call him Papa Blues. He's probably one of the best blues guitar player here in San Antonio. So we always thought, hey, Papa Blues can play some golf. So we all decided we'd go play golf one time. Yeah. So Raffaele showed up with his golf clubs and stuff, and he sliced them right really hard. So Raffaele turns this way, and he started hitting them straight. So we said, okay, he's doing better. So one time, I can't remember what hole it was, but Raffaele went back to swing really hard, and that ball went straight down the fairway. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I looked real hard, and it was the head of his club. So, anybody knows the thing about golf, you know that the drivers are called woods. And they're not really woods, but they were back in the 60s. Yeah. Well, Raffaele, that pair of clubs, woods, they actually had wood heads. And that's like, that's probably 1940 something. So he swung real hard, and that stuff went straight down the fairway. I was like, oh, that was beautiful. Raffaele hold his club with no head on it. So, we'll never forget that. Raffaele, happy birthday. You know, I'm glad you're playing with us. Y'all look out for the blue coat. So it's we're gonna step out really big. So come here and play. Thank you.
I prayed for you for years, for her husband. I could not have imagined in a million years what a wonderful man God had for her. And I want you to know that I love you dearly. I have one funny thing to say though. Raff is the only other person who has dropped his bike as many times as
Has been married. Good question. I don't really think about it like that. For me, it's like, that's my dad. He's been my dad. I don't really know how long. He's part of my family. He makes my mom happy, and he's always taking care of me. I can't really argue with that. For the time that I have gotten to know him, the best part about it is he's accepted me fully. He's helped raise me as a man. He's helped teach me how to be a man by acting as a guidance and a good source and example. And I really couldn't do a whole lot of things now without his help. My mom's always been there for me, and now to have someone else step in and say, hey, I got you, it was like, oh, snap. That was weird. It's like, my own dad is like, it's like, I don't know really how that went. So it's like, for someone else to step up and be like, if you need me, I'm there for you. And he's always has been. I really want to say thank you.
In the old Dan Carabin days, some of you may remember Dan. Josh worked in a law office that I worked in, and it was a great camaraderie. And I got a chance there to meet Raff. Nothing here to roast him with other than, you know, the motorcycle guys. Part of it, the deal is that my wife used to race dirt bikes. And so they talk about motorcycles, and they need those helmets. They really do, and especially when they reach that age. Raff has been our computer guy forever, and he's been our good friend. And I know that he does work up on wherever he is, Security Hill. He never will tell me about it. Thank you. And I've asked because I think it's real intriguing. And I know what y'all have told us for public consumption that he does. But I'm not really sure that I believe it. And the only thing that I can say is, Raff, before you really retire, will you tell Putin hello from us? When you get something working. We appreciate, you know, again, we all love you. We've all had the honor of knowing you and having your friendship, and that is the gift that you told us when you walked in. It tells us really how rich a man you are. And I think all of us can admit that we are rich because we've had the good fortune to know. Happy birthday, young man.
Little Ralph, you know that we love you. You know, I remember when first Teresa was coming to our Bible study back since 1998 or something. She was coming way back. This is when the kids were coming in with combs in their hair and pacifiers. Okay? And she would come in with her two kids, and they would sit down, and they would just faithful every single week. They would come, rain, shine, whatever. They would be there. Sometimes you looked like she was really tired, but she was there anyway. You know, and then all of a sudden, I guess quite a few years later, all of a sudden, she shows up with Ralph. You know, and he just sits there. And I think it was intentional because she showed him a chair, and then she sat on the other side. And I was like, okay. It's the first time we met him. And And I was preaching my heart. I was teaching, we were teaching the Word of God. And he had a look on his face that I really wasn't sure it was like, you're crazy, or you're out of your mind, or what are you talking about, or I'm out of here. Really couldn't tell which one of those emotions it was. But he just stared at me the whole time. And then after the lesson, the first time he showed up, I said, Raff, how much of that had you never heard before? He said, I never heard any of that before. And he started bringing his Bible, he started recording, he started taking notes. And then one day he shows up by himself. And I said, where's Teresa? And he goes, well, I don't know, but I'm here. And he was like a sponge that was just waiting to be saturated with the Word of God. It was an incredible experience to watch him know, not literally from nothing, literally got saved at the first meeting, and then from then on just soak and soak and soak and just couldn't get enough of the Word of God. And then came the fateful day when I told him, I said, you know what, Ralph? I think I need for you to teach a lesson. What? I said, yeah, I think you should teach a lesson. Just get something that we've already talked about and just... And the man must have studied for 2 weeks. He had more notes than the first sergeant here. He must have studied for a 5-hour sermon. And I mean, he worked and labored and prayed over it, called me, we talked about it, mulched it around again, and then he finally delivered it. And it was a work of art. It really was. Because it came from his heart. It came from somewhere down deep inside. It's not something that you just learn from your head. It comes from inside someplace. You know? When you hear somebody that speaks from their heart, all of a sudden, there's a different anointing about it. And then they started, I guess, seeing each other. They started actually seeing each other. Because when they came to the group, they were just like friends. But then they started actually developing a relationship. And I had the extreme pleasure of, and most of you were there, I had the extreme pleasure of doing their wedding. And it's been an honor for me to be alongside someone that loves the Lord, loves his wife, loves his children the way you do. And, you know, and I tell people all the time, I say, he's my brother from another mother. We have the same father, though. Jesus Christ.
Amen.
So I thank you for being a friend, for being a man of God, and for being an example.
Thank you.
I'm glad some other stuff didn't come up.
What is it?
Oh,
you mean like
Lord.
the spider one? Oh, there you go. You mean like the spider?
We can't hear that. It's going to be it, Ralph, the torpedo.
A few years ago, my dad had to have surgery on his neck for his discs. So he had a disc and a discectomy and a fusion in his neck. And he doesn't take medicine very well at all. This is probably where I get it from. But one day, Teresa was out in the backyard, and I was in the house, and my dad was in the bed on medicine. And all of a sudden, I heard him yelling out, and I went running back there to go see what it was he needed. And he said, bring me the spray, there's a spider. And I said, okay, Daddy, okay. And I Teresa, where's the stuff, where's the insect spray? There's a spider. And she told me where it was. I went back and I said, okay, Daddy, where is it? And he says, it's over there, it's huge. I said, okay. So I'm looking all on the nightstand and, well, look under the bed. So I jump down and I'm looking underneath the bed, but there's things under the bed, you know, storage bins and stuff. So I'm looking for this spider. I can't find the spider anywhere. Giant spider, he says, it was this big. It was right there. I saw it. I said, okay, well, I don't see it. I go run into Teresa. I wasn't a nurse at the time. I was in school. I didn't know what was going on. And Teresa made a phone call and took him to the doctor. And she relayed to me how the trip to the doctor's office went. Apparently, the trees were running down the street. And what happened was they'd given him too much medicine. He couldn't handle it. And so later on that evening, he gets back home and everything, and he's laying on the couch, and he's having a whole conversation, but not with me. I think actually the conversation was with you, Chief, but you weren't there.
I was in my heart.
So, you know, I have some fond memories of my dad, you know, some great stories like that. You're an awesome person. You have a very good heart. I love you dearly. You've done many things for me. We weren't always together. I didn't get to be with my dad until I was much older. I was about 18 or 19 when I got a chance to be with my dad. But now I understand where all of my kooky, silly craziness comes from.
Don't you need to take her home?
And my husband makes sure to tell me on a daily basis, no, just like your dad. And I think it's a good thing. And we're all very blessed to know you. And to be loved by you.
You all just really do not know how happy I am on the inside. Simply because there's still a lot of people that are close to my heart that, for whatever the reason, couldn't be here tonight. But those of you that are here have shown me that you care for me, and not for anything that I can do, or not for all the money I have. And not because my wife is the most beautiful one in this room, but it's because of me. You genuinely care for me. You don't know what that does for me. That does just the best thing. Like she said, I'm probably going to be reeling all the way through the new year and further on down the road, because I have so many good and dear friends. And I just want you to know that anytime you ever need me for anything, you just call me, I'll be there. And everybody in here should have my number. So I love you all very dearly, just like you're either one of my children, or one of my brothers and sisters, or one of my first cousins, who are my brothers and sisters. But I love you all, and I really appreciate you coming out and taking the time to spend it for just me. Thank you very much. And let's have some cake.
And experiencing this night, giving him these additional memories for his life pocket. I really appreciate you all coming out. You have blessed my heart. I know he's going to be reeling through the new year after tonight. Maybe he'll get to sleep, maybe not, but I'll be sleeping. We're going to have some cake for those that would like to join us. And I understand it's a weeknight, it's late, some of you have distance to go, so feel free. We love you. But otherwise, we're gonna cut the cake. But before we do, we have to sing happy birthday without the candles, because I forgot the candles because I couldn't get rid of him all day.
There's a candle on the table.
I'm gonna dim it just a little bit. We sing happy birthday and then we can have some cake.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Honestly, but right.
You have chocolate.
All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Raff.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, now I get to blow out the candle. Yeah.
That's a good thing you got a strong heart, huh?
For real? Cause I about lost it when I came in that door. I was
So we
like,
tricked you pretty good.
yep.
You know what put us up to it, right?
Yeah.
That leader over there.
Yeah, that woman back there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That one. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So the only person we missed was Israel doing his princess invitation.
There you go.
That would have been perfect.
Exactly. And Drew doing the Claudia.
Oh yeah. I don't know, but I'm okay.
Well, everyone said a special something to you on there.
Okay.
On there.
On there?
And
Yeah.
we're gonna put it together and send you a DVD.
Okay, that'll work.
Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.